Hey, welcome to the session that we're going to go through on how to trade natural gas, how to hedge natural gas, and how to create a strategy around natural gas price volatility what that won't leave you guessing and will leave you with a deeper understanding of natural gas. So if you stick around, we are going to target about 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know exactly how long because I am just starting this and I'm not going to edit it. We are just going to dive straight through. And so listen, welcome. Thank you for signing up. We are going to cover fundamentals, technicals, and how to profit, how to strategically understand what the natural gas market is today and what it might be in the future. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee. I've got mine. It might seem complex. The natural gas market might seem complex. It's too complicated. Every time that the market goes up, natural gas price goes up. What happened? And you find out 2 days later, oh, some supply came on, or oh, some LNG demand came offline. So it may seem complicated, but if you pull back and really stay focused on some of the key variables, you won't be surprised again. I'm not going to say you're going to be able to accurately predict what tomorrow's price is going to be or in the next 5 minutes, but you'll be able to see what is happening into the future of natural gas and you won't be surprised. So, it might be easier than you think. It sounds complicated, but it's really actually remarkably simple, but it does take work. And I spent 10 plus years when I first started the energy industry in the mid 1990s trying to figure out what the industry was about, what trading was about, and then there were terms like Fibonacci, and I'm like, Fiba what? Moving averages. Okay, I'm with you. Convergence, divergence, huh? Stochastics. Wait a second. I don't have a degree in that. So it sounds very complicated. It sounds very difficult to understand, but we're going to break it down piece by piece in this webinar so that you have a game plan and you can create a strategy that is winning for you. So here is your step-by-step guide. Step 1, fundamentals. Step 2, technicals. That's not it, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fundamentals, technicals, and drum roll, please. Remember number 1 and 2. So fundamentals and technicals are going to be your building blocks, and it does take some work. You're not going to be able to hit an easy button. There's not going to be something that magically tells you the future. You are going to have to put work into it. So how do we get to that? Well, first off, my name is Brian, not a financial advisor. None of this is a recommendation to buy, sell, or trade any commodity. I'm here to equip you with education so that you are equipped to make the best decisions for you, yourself, and your company and really benefit from that volatility in the natural gas market. So, who are these guys? Well, my name is Brian, and this is me right here. So, and this is my business partner Bill. This is at a recent a recent speaking engagement that we had with natural gas producers. So, we have been in the industry for over myself over 2.5 decades. Bill a little bit longer, but he won't let me admit to how much. After years of struggling trying to understand what the markets held, we finally saw the matrix. We finally understood, okay, it is not some mystical box that we open and we magically understand what the market has in store for us. So, let's dive in. This shouldn't be just for the big guys. So, more about us later. We're going to get back to it. So, fundamentals and technicals. That's it, right? Just fundamentals and technicals? Well, that sounds simple. It's two things, right? It can't be that easy. Well, it does require work. So if you're not willing to put in the work and you join this webinar because you're expecting this to be easy, simple, I'd go ahead and click off, close down the window, go about your day, because there is no magic solution. No company, no person has a magic solution into the natural gas market, or any market for that matter. What we're going to do is we're going to build the base. We're going to build the foundation so that you can be equipped and really understand the market, and the natural gas market, where we are today, where we're going into the future. This requires a lot of work. So, part one, fundamentals. What are we talking about? Remember to stay hydrated. So, we are talking about multiple factors, and my head is blocking this. So, let me decrease this down just a little bit. There we go. Let's do it one more time. Okay, fundamentals. Multiple factors. There's not just one factor. It sounds simple when we say there's just two aspects, fundamentals and technicals, right? But it's not just that simple. So when we look at the fundamentals, each one of these factors, each influence price in different ways. For instance, supply. Are we rising, declining? Are there new pipelines? Are there pipelines in maintenance? Demand. Are we increasing, decreasing? How are renewables impacting that? Imports. What are we getting from Canada? What are we getting from LNG? Believe it or not, the United States imports LNG. Exports. What are we exporting via LNG? What are we exporting to Mexico? And it's a lot. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later. Storage. Where are we relative to last year, the last 5 years, multiple years? So all of this is critical factors so that you can make a decision and figure out what your direction is. So fundamentals. Insert shameless plug here. We are energyrogue.com, and that's energyrogue.com. And when you go to energyrogue.com, you are going to hit this page right here, and then we offer multiple services. We offer Rogue Edge, which people come to us expecting to have, not expecting, needing to have insight into supply, storage, demand, imports, exports, storage, stocks, technicals. We put all of that into a baseline package that's only $89 a month, so that people could have access to it. And I'll give you a quick little peek inside, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But we look at what is happening in the market, and we put everything into interactive downloadable charts so that you can draw some of that analysis. More about that a little bit later. So, Energy Rogue, before launching energyrogue.com, we spent 20 plus hours a week looking for information on supply, demand, imports, exports, storage. After wasting all that time, we finally realized I can either spend 20 hours a week, or I can create something that provides a resource that I just, with a few clicks of the button, I'm able to look and determine that supply went from this point, 105.8 BCF a day, to 99.3. So that took me, what, 30 seconds? And that is from December to 99.3. Well, wait a second. Let's see. Well, what was it versus last year? Versus last year, just with a hover of the mouse, we were at 100.6. So that says this year we are beneath that target. So this is a tool so that you can ask yourself questions and understand a little bit about the imports. When we talked about imports, are they on the rise, or are they dropping? So we get a lot of gas from Canada. So these are the questions when we are looking at supply, demand, imports, exports, and storage that we put into this platform so that we could understand trends. For instance, on the export side of the equation. That is another variable that is very, very important. Let's take a look at LNG, and with a few clicks of the mouse, I can see that in 2017 we were at 2.8 and we're up over 14. That's a significant, significant increase, especially when you add in Mexico that has been growing. And as a matter of fact, we were just talking about this with our membership. We just peaked the high in all-time history. So we just matched in 2021. But look at this. If you go back a little bit further, you can see that we just continue to keep growing. So as we're growing, that is increasing demand. And that is the resource that we provide for energyrogue.com, because we spent time with companies like Chevron, Enron, Williams, Duke Energy, Louis Dreyfus, Sumitomo, and we had access to tools that were worth $1 million a year in subscription costs. And we realized it shouldn't be that cost prohibitive to have a baseline understanding of what the market is doing for supply, demand, imports, exports, and storage. All of those are critical factors, and each one of those can change in different ways. So you may have supply going up, but demand is going up. So as much as people are focused on one variable, it's important to look at the entire matrix. And that's why after wasting all this time, that's why we built that resource and made it affordable for anybody to join. So Rogue Edge is only $89 a month, and I am going to propose something to you a little bit later. I hope you stick around for it. So, fundamentals. You develop a cheat sheet. This is my cheat sheet, and this is what I review with our membership every single week. We cover supply and current 99.3. In history, I chose 1 year ago, and 1 year ago today it was 99.8. So the fact that supply is below the historical reference point, which at this point is 1 year ago. Now, let me segue for just a second. When somebody says they are bullish or bearish, it's important to ask, well, what time frame are we really talking about? Are they talking about the next month, the next 2 months, the next 30 minutes? Because you could be bullish in the next 30 minutes, but bearish over the next 3 months. So it's important to predefine what your time frame is. This isn't a how to trade seminar, but you should always start from a perspective of what is the time horizon that I'm allowing for this particular trade, or what is the time horizon for this hedge, so that you can come to an understanding and then find your reference point. And for instance, on the supply side, when I created this grid, what I did is I went here and said, okay, let's pick a reference point of the last year. And last year we were at, what was it, 90, 98, 99.8. And then right now we're at 99.3. So that brings me to supply is currently below last year. So that shows that we have less supply. So that is a bullish indicator. And I'm gonna draw on here. Forgive me. My business partner Bill's gonna hate this because he says I draw terrible. You can decide. So I've got a bullish indication right here. Then for the same period, let's look at electric. Since we flipped to the demand side, now any number that is higher than history is going to be a bullish indication. And look at this. This is a big one. So we decreased by 0.5 here, but right here we increased by 2. So that is very bullish. Now, residential, commercial, and industrial are neutral. So that puts me with a bullish bias here. So on supply and demand, I am bullish. On imports from Canada add to the supply. So a number that increases that is a bearish indication. So then you have exports. Well, we're currently at 7. Last year we were at 6.5. That is bullish. And then LNG, 12.9 and 10.9 is bullish. But let me show you something. The reason why time frame matters is because when we look at the demand side, let's look at LNG for a second. So what we covered on LNG was 12.9 to 10.9 versus last year. And let's click off these and click that off. All right, so relative to last year, we are currently at 12.9. Last year, we were at 10.9. Well, hold on. We aren't really that bearish, because if you come up with a different time frame like December or January, we're at 14.7. We're at 12.9. That is very, very bearish, because that decreases demand. So time horizon really matters. And the time horizon I chose was 1 year ago today. You can choose your time horizon. It might be versus last week, last month, last year, last 3 years. So the last item that we're going to take a look at is storage. So when we look at storage, let's take a look at it. You can see versus the 5-year average, what this line is when you look at, oh, there we go. When you look at the top blue line, that is the 5-year max for that point in time. So that is the 5-year maximum, and then the yellow line is the 5-year minimum. So then when I add back in this white line, that is where we currently are. And so if we are above that 5, that blue line, which we currently are, it is a bearish indication, because it indicates we have a lot of storage in supply, and that storage in supply came from excess supply versus the demand. And there is a reason why the supply outstripped the demand during the winter. I'm not going to go into that right here, but this is 2024, so we're talking about the 23-24 winter, which on the demand side was very tepid on a demand side. So this is how we organize the market. We take a look at supply, demand, imports, exports, and storage. Each one of these are critical to understand. Are they growing? Are they shrinking? So if you are not paying attention to each one of these variables, you are going to be surprised in the market. There may be surprises that happen on the day that are going to surprise the entire market. But if you look at things like the supply side, this is a variable that we aren't surprised about. This is a variable that in our service and in our charts, we've been able to identify because we've been tracking this. This is our production net change in the shale basins, and we've been watching that, and since last year, we have been set to decline. So our service, with just a few clicks of the button, or of the mouse, of the button, well, I guess there's a button on a mouse, we were able to determine that supply was likely to contract. Now, bear in mind, if somebody was here in December, we were over 105 BCF, and nobody was calling for decline. We were. And we were because we're looking at the raw data and what the tools are telling us to do. So you've got supply, demand, imports, exports, and storage. You need to focus on these if you're going to create a winning strategy. All of this is around building a winning strategy. So now that we've covered fundamentals, hopefully that's a lot. So now we're going to dive into technicals. This technicals, if you do not follow technicals, there are a lot of difficult sounding names such as Fibonacci, stochastics, moving average, convergence, divergence, relative strength index, average true range. There's a lot of tools and resources and literally thousands of combinations of technical signals that would bring us up or down on the market direction. So my technical approach, I start with a clean chart. Let me actually take you over to this. I'm going to pull up a clean chart on natural gas, and let's go ahead and choose the August contract right here. There we go. And we will start with a clean page with nothing on it. And then determine the timeline. What timeline do you want to look at? Day trading, swing trading, long term. I'm actually going to look at the day trade so that I'm not shifting the chart around, but figuring out your time frame is going to be important, because if you look at this time frame, that's going to look like an uptrend. If you look at this time frame, you see a longer downtrend. So time frame matters, and this looks a little bit more sideways with a range bound. So, but the range is getting higher and higher and higher. So let's take a quick look at, I'm not going to go into the different time frames, but finding support and resistance zones. So here's where you go through and you look at areas that have support and resistance, and you will start to see patterns emerge when you're putting these on the chart. You can see that we stayed pretty much in this range right here from 263 to 237 for a while. Then we broke above that, went to two ranges above, then back down, and then we've broken back up again. So we keep breaking into new territory, and it's possible that we will enter a new stratosphere and get to this 333 level. But find those support and resistance loans, and then find your favorite technicals. You can actually I studied technicals for 15 years. I have done so many different books. I would start with the Technical Analysis of Financial Markets by John Murphy. That's a great book to start. Then, and also Japanese Candlesticks by I think it's Steve Neeson. So those two are kind of considered the go-to by a lot of technical traders. So then you develop your cheat sheet. Now I chose moving averages, MACD, RSI, and Bollinger. And I stick to these because these are pretty consistent across the board. And it's a reason that we have in our service put these right in our, we even have a signal where if it's in green, it's very bullish. This is showing very bullish because the 9-day, and the 9-day, which is the white line, is above the 20-day, which is the blue line. Both of those are above the 50-day, which is the orange line. So if you look at this, we are in a bullish trend, even though it's kind of starting to flattening out on the 9-day. Now, the MACD is actually very bearish. And the MACD is one of my favorite signals. And as you can see, it created a signal down here, and we went into a very big uptrend. So MACD is one of my favorites, and I generally follow that pretty closely. And then we have support and resistance levels. We also take a look at RSI. And when I looked at these for natural gas for this time frame, I came up with moving averages are bullish, MACD bearish, RSI neutral, and Bollinger bearish. So this, if you go by democracy vote, this is a bearish indication. So when we go back to the fundamentals, you will see bullish, 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 and bullish is winning the fundamental, and technicals are winning the bearish argument. So now let's put it all together. This is your cheat sheet. This is how you create a determination of what the market direction is. But if you go through this, you're going to be able to forecast and generate directions on supply or demand or imports or exports and the technicals. If you put this all together, you're not going to be surprised by the market anymore. Now, there may be something that happens on the individual day that surprises you, and that will happen because trading is not about predicting the future. It's about taking measured approaches with data as your backing to make your decision so that you can make an effective decision. And now new criteria comes in every minute, every day, every 2 days. So it's how you incorporate that criteria that is going to be super important for your journey. So look at supply, look at demand, and for demand, look at each variable of demand. Because, for instance, industrial, I wanted to point this out. Yeah, this looks neutral, but one thing that is very important, just bear with me just a second. We will go here and it's important to evaluate what the variability is. When we look at industrial, it's slightly growing, but not really by much. So when we see these spikes, it's the winter time. But what you can see is that we're pretty much in the same range every year, year after year. But when you look at electric, you will start to see that was within a BCF of each other. Now, if you look at this, this is showing that we're going from 24 BCF up to 30 as our baseline. So in the last 4 years, we've grown by 4 BCF a day, where industrial was only 1 BCF a day. So it's not just important to look at, okay, this number is higher than this one. Well, what is the relative change? And that's part of the reason when I look at electric and I see this 2 BCF a day increase from just last year, this is massively bullish. That is massively bullish. And then when we look at LNG, if we got back to the 14.9, that would be massively bullish. Now, there are other circumstances where an LNG facility goes down, but it's important to look at each one and evaluate them so that you can make a determination. And this is super important for you to follow this and look at supply, look at demand, look at imports, exports, storage, and then I'm choosing moving averages, MACD, RSI, Bollinger. You may have 4 different ones or 2 different ones or 10 different ones. Come up with your list of your favorites. My favorite is usually MACD because that's what I found as a more consistent signal, but not by itself. I need to understand the fundamentals and I need to understand what is happening. And I'll give you an example of if you look at the technicals and the technicals only, you will get very confused. And this is what I mean. Let's take the daily nearby. Okay. So now when we go here in 2022, we were up around the $9 to $10 range. And we were looking at the fundamentals and realizing we shouldn't be up this high. We were telling our members it needs to come down. Now, it took months for the fundamentals to really impact the play. So this is why time frame is super important for your strategy. If you're looking at a day trading strategy and I say I'm bearish, well, I'm bearish in what time frame? Are you talking 30 minutes? Are you talking 30 days? Are you talking 2 years? So we were indicating it shouldn't be this high. Conversely, when we collapsed, in my opinion, we shouldn't be this low. So that's just my personal opinion, not a financial advisor, not financial advice or recommendation to buy or sell any stock. So supply, demand, imports, exports, storage, moving averages, MACD, RSI, Bollinger. I'm going to send you emails about this that'll give you this sheet and this outline so that you can start to put this together for yourself, because this is an important thing that you should incorporate into your trading, and you should know this every single day. Every single day, if you don't know if electricity is up or down, you're going to get caught. You're going to get caught surprised. If you don't know if supply is increasing or decreasing versus last month, you're going to get caught surprised. Don't get caught surprised. Look at these, study these, and then you won't be surprised. So, if I had an offer that gave you an easy way to shortcut all that work, and by all that work, I mean putting all this together. If I had an offer that gave you an easy way to shortcut that work, that made it easy for you in a website with emails, with videos, with custom emails to you on your strategy, that provide that you got input from our team of experts, that also allowed you to participate in an exclusive group of like-minded traders and guided you with a monthly meeting for your goals, would you be interested? Can I share it with you? Okay, if you're not interested, go ahead and click off. It's been great. You will get emails that cover this. But if you're serious about energy trading, if you're serious about natural gas trading, if you're serious really about elevating your game and stepping to the next level, if you just want to tick these off every day, spend 20 hours a week, great, you're going to get emails. But if you're serious about this and you want to get input from our team of experts and input of like-minded traders, then I urge you to listen on. Rogue Premium is a solution for you. This will give you peer-to-peer networking, curated content, custom insights just for you. And this is empowering energy transformation with strategic guidance, data-driven analytics, innovative solution, and trusted partnerships with everybody collaborating on the same platform. And let me give you a peek inside into our private Discord community. And we established this community because it's not just about what we are thinking in the market, but what others are thinking. For instance, this came from one of our members today, just today. And then I shared with them what I'm sharing with you. And then I provide videos. We provide weather. We have a weather person in here. We track storage. We track everything on the market in this community. In addition to having this institutional level analytics platform. For instance, one of our Rogue Premium memberships is with a hedge fund that was looking to invest in an asset. I walked them through a $200 million asset. In 5 minutes, I walked them through a few charts that made them more interested in buying that project. And conversely, when they came back a couple weeks later, they had a different asset and they were looking at that. Within 5 minutes, we were able to determine that it was not worth them pursuing that transaction. So, trusted partnerships, we provide perspective, insights along with the data. It's not just data. It's not just, Well, are you going to show me the production? Yes, we are, but it's not just about that. What are the trend lines when we get to production? When we get to production, what are the base declines? We track actually what new gas is being on, and we're watching trends like this. This is new production that is brought on every single month, and we're losing steam on that. Meanwhile, our declines are increasing. So you can see that we're losing more, and that puts us in a unique spot. So we are offering just for today, Rogue Premium is $179 a month. I am going to give you the first month at $27, and you can cancel within that first month, and it just takes a click of the button, you cancel, and if you're not interested, that's fine. But for $27 with Rogue Premium, you're going to get access to Rogue Edge, our PDF reports, our weekly video signal updates, our custom monthly strategy. This is worth over $5,000. Actually, it's probably worth a lot more than that. I try and temper my expectations. Many people on the custom monthly strategy, for instance, that hedge fund, said, you just saved us $50 million. So, depending on your strategy, depending on the execution, we would develop with you a custom monthly strategy. We meet with you every single month on your strategy for you. And we want to bring you into a better future so that you can make more money and protect more of your money. So with Rogue Premium, you're getting all that, which is a $5,000 value. And if you act now, we are also going to give you as a bonus a strategy map. We are going to map it with you on a call. We are going to say, okay, where are you? Where do you want to be? How do we get there? So we're going to we're going to custom make that strategy with you. We're going to develop that math. Yes, there is going to be math with it. We're going to develop that map, and then every month we are going to test it with you. We are going to strategically work with you towards that strategy goal. And if you have a strategy, you want to back test it, we'll back test it for you. That takes thousands of dollars of effort, value. We'll research it for you so that you can, if you have an idea on that strategy, we'll test it for you. So bonus 3, we're going to build for you your custom trading plan. The bonus value of that is over $17,000. You're going to get all this for only $27. Your first month is only $27. So this is what some of our customers have said. You also can go to energyrogue.com. Of course, if you click off this window, the webinar would have to repeat. So keep this window active, keep this window open. But all of our customers, we have so many different values out there. Listen to Alan. We now have more information at a better value and experience responsiveness and the ability to chat one-on-one almost at a drop of the hat. Brian and Bill offered valuable advice services in the field of energy markets. So that's what James said. Let's see what Dylan says. Without Energy Rogue, I would have let deals slip by and not close due to market timidity. I don't know how to say that word. If you're on the fence about working with Energy Rogue, I'd say regardless of your your industry experience, with Bill and Brian behind the wheel is a game changer. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you're on the fence, try it. See how quickly you become addicted. So we would like to offer this to you for only $27, and we appreciate you listening to the webinar. If you've listened this long, you are serious about your energy trading adventure and your energy hedging adventure. So if you're serious about it, it's time to get to work. It's time to roll up your sleeves, and you can spend a lot of time on aggregating this information or have it right at your fingertips along with a video every single week where we break down all that for you and walk through that with you. And then you can join in our custom or our exclusive Discord room where we will meet with you one-on-one and we will connect with you on your strategy. And again, it is only $27. So this window is going to close down, and after it closes down, you're not going to have the $27 offer again. So you can go out there at any time and sign up for $179. But if you want to save 150 bucks and try it risk-free for only $27, you just click this button, Get Started Today, which is going to be right down below me, and get started. And then I hope to see you inside. Bill and I would be happy to talk to you and excited to talk to you. If you click that button, you get started today. We are going to send you a personal email and we will get started this week. So click the button, start now. Don't let it stop you from getting there. And listen, are we the only solution on the planet? No. Are we the only complete solution on the planet that provides expertise with a guided experience with the data? Yes, we are the only ones offering this. And so you can try it for only $27 for your first month, and we would love to see you inside. So I'm going to close off what I'm talking about and take a look at the window down below and listen. Thank you so much for being with me for the next, well, unless you want to spend another 40 minutes together. Thank you for being with me for 40 minutes. I appreciate it. It's been a fun journey. I hope that this helped provide some insight for you, and I hope to see you inside. So thanks so much. My name is Brian, and I will be talking to you soon.